Uriah, what's going on, buddy?
Jimmy, what's up, man?
Hey, man, congratulations.
Dude,
You got married again.
got hitched to Hottie.
To a saint.
She's hot. No, yeah. Me and Hannah got married, man.
How was it?
Awesome. Dude, it was freaking beautiful. Divide, Airbnb, mountain-esque view everywhere.
It looked beautiful from the
Dude.
pictures I saw.
It was amazing. And my girls got to be there. They were in the wedding, flower girls.
Nice.
It was awesome. It was a really intimate setting, really a lot smaller than your traditional wedding. This is both of our second marriages.
Yeah, so, you know.
That, but then also like just the intimacy. Like you know me, Jimmy, I'm a big faith guy.
Right.
And so we wanted it to focus around that. So
Cool.
yeah.
Well, it looked like you're having a blast.
Yeah, it was.
And you didn't look like she drugged you or anything to get you up there.
I mean, she made sure I looked pretty decent, you know. She was like, "Well,
that's a lot of work right there."
Yeah, hey, take it easy. You know what I'm just happy of?
What?
You're not wearing any Notre Dame or any
You know
of this
what?
New Mexico State nonsense.
You know what?
You're wearing red. OU.
No.
Up Boomer Sooner.
You don't even know your own team colors.
Oh.
They're not red.
Yeah, it's
They're
crimson.
crimson, maroon, whatever. They all look alike.
This is pretty close, though. So thank you.
I think your eyes are going bad. This is red. So yeah, I saw that. I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
It looks like you guys had a great time.
It was a blessing, man.
Hannah looked beautiful as always.
Yes.
You know, so it was cool.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing your photos with everybody.
Dude. I mean, that's a good way to include. And dude, thank you. We got a ninja from this guy. We're gonna be making
not
smoothies.
like a ninja.
No, like a chopper. You know,
A
we
chopper.
can make all the smoothies. It's in there right now.
No, I know that you guys. Yeah, I know you're back to your healthy eating and things like that. So that's cool.
Yeah, stay on it. You know.
So the last 5 weeks, you know, and when we're filming this,
Mm-hmm.
this is the latest that I've heard with the Iran war,
Yeah.
that we have a ceasefire.
Mm-hmm.
And I've heard two different rumors. One is the strait is open and one that it's not.
Mm-hmm.
But that's where we're at right now. But let's go back to the beginning.
Yeah.
Because the reason I talk about this today is because how it affects interest rates,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because we were in a pretty good spot before, you know, we decided to bomb Iran.
Mm-hmm.
So, as everybody knows, what happens is that we attacked Iran. Nobody knows what the really true reason is,
Mm-hmm.
because it wasn't nuclear stuff, because according to our president, he obliterated that last year.
Mm-hmm.
This is not being political.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just...
Yeah.
And so we took out, us in Israel bombed Iran with a lot of pressure from Israel is what I'm reading. And they closed the Strait of Hormuz,
Mm-hmm.
right? 20% of all oil comes out of the strait. And it doesn't really go to us, but it goes to China, it goes to all these other places.
Mm-hmm.
But our crude oil is not really a summer blend oil,
Mm-hmm.
so we have to get that elsewhere.
Mm-hmm.
So once that happened and they shut it down, the stock market dove,
Yeah.
right?
Went kind of haywire.
Right.
Yeah.
And then the 10-year bond went up, right? Because our bond is we try to sell that to people, right?
Right.
And so to capture them, the interest rate.
Mm-hmm.
So if we want to capture or sell a lot more of our bonds, then we're going to put a higher interest rate to attract that money.
Yeah.
And when we have too many bonds, then we knock the rate down and people aren't as interested.
Right.
And we talked about how the interest rate follows a 10-year bond,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yep.
So if the bond rate goes up, more than likely our interest rates are going to go up.
Yeah.
Right? So when that happened, we jumped almost, I'm trying to remember the numbers. I don't precisely, but like over a half a point.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think about it, that's in 30 days.
Mm-hmm.
And what happened is refi shut down, purchases shut down,
Mm.
because it's another prong effect when we have a shortage of oil, because it affects everything.
Mm-hmm.
It affects transportation.
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen an airline ticket lately?
Yeah, and gas prices and
Gas
everything else.
prices?
Like I I know for a fact it pushed people out of their buy box
Right.
like immediately. So like whenever that hike happened in interest rate, like, and that's what a lot of people don't realize. So that you got sellers like, why aren't people buying homes? Well,
Add a half point to everything.
and
And
it pushes
plus,
people out and they can't even buy.
everything else is going up because it takes fossil fuel to deliver goods to this country.
Mm-hmm.
I was watching ABC Live this morning, and they had this restaurateur on.
Mm-hmm.
He goes, back when we had COVID, there was an extra charge that shippers were putting on,
Mm-hmm.
right? Just because of the cost of COVID.
Mm-hmm.
They never took it off. And now, when the gas price goes up, those costs go up.
Mm-hmm.
So people are having to choose now, because now it's going to take, if you have to fill up twice a month and it's
Mm-hmm.
$120, that's $240 a month.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're at like $4 and low $4 for regular.
Right. Premium.
Premium's like close to $5. And diesel, shit, it's ridiculous.
Mm-hmm.
So all these costs are going up for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
And what this did was this really hurt our economy.
Right.
And he even said he wanted a 40% increase on the military budget. And he said, if we have to cut Social Security, Medicare, Medicaid, that's what we'll do. So I'm just thinking about this. This is just crazy talk,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because we were the aggressor.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, why do we even do it? I mean, our economy is fragile as it is. Why would we do that when you don't know how long it's going to be,
Mm-hmm.
right? And you don't know all the other consequences.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if they never thought about the strait was going to be closed, man, shame on them.
Mm-hmm.
And you know what happened also?
Come on, they knew what was gonna happen though.
So you know what happens now?
Yeah.
Putin's selling oil to everybody on the black market.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking at this and I'm going, I don't understand decisions sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I don't understand this decision.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't want troops on the ground.
Mm-hmm.
We have learned nothing from Iran and Iraq and Vietnam and Korea.
Mm-hmm.
We haven't learned. And you know why people are not engaged in those wars? Because we weren't attacked.
Mm-hmm.
Not like World War II.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm on my high horse right now, but I'm just thinking that we were the aggressor. We're the ones that shot
Mm-hmm.
the first missiles into Iran. And I know that a lot of conservatives are going to be on my ass about this, but I don't want our troops anywhere near that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah, I mean it's interesting to see how everything's playing out because in the same boat, like it's like we chose and we're also paying for that.
Right.
And so in the market, right, in the housing market or any other market, it takes a huge hit. And so like we talked about it before, what is it going to take to recover? Well, 6 months minimum.
Right.
And so, but we are seeing like rates kind of shifting back.
Yeah, they're going back down to about 4.6 right now.
I would think it's because of the ceasefire.
It is.
Yeah. So if if that's the case, then maybe it's a little quicker than 6 months, maybe. But as far as like oil is concerned,
That's
as
going to be
far
the
as
key.
food, as far as everything else, that's going to take a little while.
It is. And you know, and the funny thing is these decisions that they make truly don't affect them.
Mm, yeah.
It doesn't hit their pockets. Are they sending their sons and daughters to war? No. They're like pawns on a board.
Mm-hmm.
And if one of those Congress people or President Trump's son
Mm,
was shipped off to Iran, do you think you'd have a different thought process? I'm tired of our military being pawns.
yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
they protect us every day.
Yeah.
You know, and they serve our country and they serve every person in this country.
Yeah.
And to treat them like that because you get pissed off one day and you want to blow up somebody,
Mm,
and now you're sending them across the world
yeah.
for what?
Yeah. Well, and that's just it, is like I'm a little curious as to what else is behind the curtain. You know, what else is actually going on, because I think it's not just because of Israel and all of that. I think there's a lot more at play. I think it was a jab at China. I think it was like, you brought up Putin and selling oil. Like, I think maybe they were involved in like trying to, okay, we need to off some barrels and we need a high premium price. Who's going to buy it? Nobody's buying it. Okay, how do we get this moved? Right. And then they voted for, yeah, okay, do it. Like there's so much politically that we don't know and we may never know, or our grandkids will know.
Right,
Right, like once it's declassified, right? Like
right.
there's so much that's at play right now, but I'm with you. I'm like, when do we stop being the world's police?
Well, you
When
know,
do
it's nobody else's soldiers but ours.
Right.
And and then I know he wanted help from our allies, but he never told our allies we were doing this.
Yeah.
So it's like me starting a fight
Mm-hmm.
and I'm getting my ass kicked, and I'm saying, Uriah, jump in. And you're saying, hell no, Jimmy, that's your fight.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know? But I guess I just wanted to break some peace on that, you
Yeah.
know?
Yeah, and shine some light, because I think a lot of people don't even know what's going on. A lot of people are unaware of what's actually happening right now. They're just experiencing, oh crap, gas just went through the roof. Yeah, I know it has something to do with the war, but I don't know what's really going on. Why am I having to pay $15 for a cheeseburger?
Yeah,
Oh, this is affecting that too. And so I think it's just recognizing that we are doing things that a lot of people don't know about, and maybe they should pay attention to,
yeah,
just to one, educate themselves, but two, like know how to like move and do and plan. Like when it
right.
comes to the actual home buyer, right? This affects them a lot. Like I said, it push a lot of people out of the market to where they couldn't even buy in what they were looking for. Yeah, they
Well,
could have bought something
here's
smaller, but
the bigger issue.
yeah,
Let's say they can still buy,
yeah,
but man, they have no excess money,
right,
right?
right. They're house poor.
They're house poor.
Yeah. And so go into that a little bit. What, when we talk about the term house poor, obviously we've talked about it in the past, but why should they be concerned with that, one? And two, like, is it worth it? I guess is the
Right.
conversation,
So
you know?
let's start from the basics.
Yeah.
And usually what drives all lenders
Mm-hmm.
is your debt to income ratio,
Right.
right?
Absolutely.
And usually FHA has a little bit higher debt
Uh-huh.
to income.
Yeah.
The rate's gonna be a little bit higher.
Right.
And then conventionals like at a 41, 42% debt to income. They can go up a little bit more too.
Mm-hmm.
So what they're saying is 40% of all your gross income for the month
Mm-hmm.
goes to your housing.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So, and that 40%, that includes the house payment,
Mm-hmm.
all your debt. You
Mm-hmm.
know, they like to keep a lot of room up there.
Right.
But if you start pressing it and you're even at 50%, let's say, and you got approved,
Mm-hmm.
stuff like this can knock you out of your house,
Oh, easy.
right?
Yeah, easy.
Because now gas is up, groceries are up.
Mm.
There is no movement. There is no room for life to happen and for political stuff to happen.
Right.
So when we look at everything, that's why I tell my clients, I don't want you house poor.
Mm-hmm.
If you really want a house, then we need to go smaller,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Right.
Because of stuff like this. And this is a really good example of what could happen in 30 days.
Right. Well, and I think it brings it back to the conversation, what you just said, like, hey, maybe we need to go smaller. The whole wants and needs,
Yeah.
right? Like, what is actually needed and what is a want? You know, I feel like this, I remember when I was in real estate, I did a video on just that. Like, hey, whenever we work together, here's what you can expect. I'm going to talk to you about wants and needs. And like, you're going to have to like let go of some stuff and realize, okay, I need this. Don't put your husband in the doghouse, right? Like,
Right. Exactly.
and so like that conversation is coming back around again, like it did in COVID, because that was a big deal in COVID too. Is like, okay, what do I actually need?
Well, let's go back to the financial meltdown of 2006, 2008, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All the foreclosures and
Yeah.
stuff. And what the lending people learned out of that is they need tighter restrictions
Yeah.
because you could get a loan and not have to even validate your income.
Right.
So these people were living way beyond their means and they couldn't afford the house.
Right.
So when everything happened, a lot of people lost their homes.
Right.
But it's the same thing to this day. I'm like you,
Right.
especially as a first time home buyer,
Right.
right? Because they can get sucked into all that stuff.
Yeah.
I tell my first time home buyers, more than likely you'll sell in 5 to 7 years,
Yeah.
right? Our goal here is to get equity,
And get you in the game.
get
Just
you in the
get you in
game,
the game.
because what you can make off your home, you can transfer that to your down payment of your nicer home,
Right.
because we're scaling,
Yep.
right?
Yep.
And what they may find out too is that like they love this little home,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. You don't have to clean as much.
Right.
You know,
Exactly right.
you don't have a yard to maintain. You
But
know,
that's what I mean is like that's why it's so important, and I preach it all the time, especially here,
mm,
is I don't want you house poor.
yeah,
At the end of the day, it's your decision,
right,
right?
right,
But all I can do is tell you that life is going to change
yeah,
and things are going to happen,
yeah,
and you need wiggle room.
absolutely. Talk a little bit more about that though, the process, right? Like, I think a lot of people, especially in my generation, millennial, don't shoot me down. Um, so So a lot of people in my age range, they think, okay, I'm gonna buy my first home. I want it to be like decked out, and I want it to be my forever home first, right?
You know what's funny about
Yeah,
that? That's very true,
yeah,
because they're relating to what they were probably raised up
right.
with, or
Instantaneous,
what they
like,
wanted.
yeah,
But they don't realize that their parents probably started at a very small home.
right.
My parents' house was 1,200 square feet,
Hmm.
3 bedroom, small ass kitchen, you know,
Yeah,
and then they added on
yeah,
to make it 1,600 square feet. But they started in a very little house,
yeah,
and I think that's the difference. Is what we look at now. I mean, technology, uh, appliances, all that stuff is just
right.
so much more than what my parents had.
Yeah, I mean, now you've got smart homes, right? Now
Right?
it's an AI home.
Right.
Like literally, I'm telling Alexa to lock my doors at night. I'm telling Alexa to turn on my lights,
Yeah.
like all this stuff. And it's like in the past, there wasn't all of this.
No.
And so there's a cost to install all of that. There's a cost to have all of that built in. Like, yeah, you can do it yourself, but who's doing it themselves these days? Like, not
No.
very many people.
No.
And so, like, but do you need that, Jimmy? Like, do you absolutely? I think as we progress and as AI kind of like becomes more and more a part of our lives, I think yes, to an extent. But I don't need 4,800 square feet.
Well,
You
you know
know?
what? If people want it and can afford it, more power to them,
Sure.
right?
Sure.
More power to them, because I'm really concerned about the first time home buyer,
Mm.
because they they go outside
Mm-hmm.
and they see things, right? I rather have them with me before they go out and look,
Mm-hmm.
so I can tell you this is what you can afford,
Yeah.
right? And
Yeah.
you can afford it comfortably.
Right.
So here's your price range.
Yeah.
And like before, they give me a call, Jimmy, can we go up $50,000? I'm going,
Yeah.
we can, but it's getting tighter.
Yeah. You're eating ramen noodles, bro.
Yeah.
Like, is that what you want?
Yeah.
Is that what you want? Ball's back in your court, man. You know?
So yeah, so I think it's really enticing, because whenever they see a home, right,
Mm.
whether it's a new build
Mm.
or somebody already lives there,
Yeah.
they have it dialed to the T's, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, and so you
Yeah.
see this and you're going, oh God,
Yeah.
yeah,
I
this
could
here,
have this.
yeah,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
and then it's just a matter of time that they need that number, because when they're looking at a home,
Mm.
they may not realize there's an HOA,
Mm-hmm.
because it says it on the flyer, right?
Yeah.
But they're just looking at the home,
Right.
and then you throw in homeowners insurance, which
Yeah.
is expensive in Colorado.
Yeah. Yeah. Thanks, fires. Thanks, hail.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's the taxes.
Yeah.
So you could easily add $500 a month
Right.
on that, easily.
Right. Yeah. Just in fees and needs
So
to have the home.
yeah, because they think, and I hate to generalize, but many times
Mm-hmm.
they don't understand that it's way beyond principal and interest.
Well, and I think a lot of that just has to do with education.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't you say? So, like, what I love about your entire setup, right? Your entire like process and system, right? Is you like to educate people.
Yes.
And we were talking about just before this, like getting that ironed out to where people can know exactly what it is that they're entering into when it comes to programs, when it comes to education, when it comes to like, I want to take a minute, right? And explain to people that you know your stuff, right? And at any point in time, like if people have questions about what they can afford, about what program they should take advantage of, like you make yourself available to that.
Right.
And so like how can people like really get a hold of you and get in contact with you and really like is it scheduling a call? What is
Sorry to interrupt you. I'm Jimmy Oliver with Indigo Mortgage. I'm a mortgage professional, and I know that in my podcast we talk about different things, but my job is being a mortgage broker. If you are a first-time home buyer, please click below and get my free PDF about buying your first home, because there's a lot to it. And call me with any questions that you may have, and let's book an appointment. Back to the podcast. Now, the cool thing is that we have a lot of great realtors in this city.
Mm-hmm.
And I learned from a realtor when we bought our first house in Phoenix.
Mm-hmm.
And what he told me,
Mm-hmm.
what he goes, whenever you guys go see a house,
Mm-hmm.
go drive around the entire area
Yeah.
and see what's going on.
Yeah.
Because a lot of times, and realtors will tell them the same thing.
Yeah.
They get focused on that house and they may not see a car on blocks,
Yeah.
right?
Right.
Or yards that aren't kept up,
Right.
because that affects the value of your home.
Oh yeah, for sure.
You know,
For
so
sure.
go there at 5 o'clock
Yeah.
when it's busy, see
Yeah.
what's going on, go check out the schools,
Right.
right? So it's more than just the house. That's what we try to talk to them about.
Yeah.
This is so much more than just one house at this one location.
Right. Yeah. And then you got pockets where things are turning over too.
Right.
Right? Like, and that's like a right now you're buying it at this price, but in a year when everything's flipped, like your price point's going to be even better.
Right.
Right? So like understanding and putting priority on actually putting eyes on the property, I would say is pretty huge. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
And, because you're going to be part of a community now,
Mm-hmm.
right? You're moving into a new home.
Yeah.
You want to make sure you're comfortable in that community,
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
and those are the little things that when they see the shiny stuff in the house
Mm-hmm.
or the house that's all shiny,
Yeah.
that's some of the stuff that's left.
Yeah.
But we always talk about make sure you have a cash reserve,
Yeah.
in case
Yeah.
something goes up the first year and you have to pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
That wasn't budgeted. So there's a lot of things with first time home buyers that we talk about. But even on repeat purchasers,
Mm-hmm.
I still stress a lot of the same things.
Yeah.
I still throw them the numbers and because they may not have bought like 7 years ago.
Yeah.
So a lot of stuff may have changed.
Yeah. So important. And then also, like, even on programs and stuff like that, getting your loan and stuff like that. I mean, it's cool too with you being a broker.
Right.
That's huge, right?
Well, the great thing about being a broker is that my lenders have to fight for the business,
Yeah.
right?
Mm-hmm.
If I walk into a bank
Mm-hmm.
or a credit union, they have one rate sheet,
Mm-hmm.
right? I have 5 or 6 rate sheets
Mm-hmm.
from all my lenders,
Mm-hmm.
and they're always trying to enhance to get the
Mm-hmm.
business.
Yeah.
So they're fighting for your loan,
Mm-hmm.
which is good for my borrower,
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah.
And so the programs are pretty much standard throughout,
Yeah. Yeah.
It's just the pricing of them,
Mm-hmm.
but also it's the servicing of them.
Mm-hmm.
So there's so much entanglement in all this
Yeah.
that usually I have about a 30 or 45-minute talk with my first time home buyers about all this stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know they're not going to retain everything,
Right.
but I'm just hoping that when I say something, they may not remember it, but the term is familiar.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yeah. You're just kind of like breaking them into the landscape of the mortgage world.
Yes.
And giving them terminology that they need to pay attention to. What are the most important things that I need to pay attention to? When I go to buy a house, like, what are some of the things I need to consider financially? HOA, things like this. Like, I think those, when you have an advocate
Right.
in the mortgage
That's
business
what
and
we are for our
industry,
clients.
like, it's huge. Like,
Yes.
a lot of the stress and a lot of the misunderstanding is gone because you have somebody to clean it up for you. And I feel
Well,
like you do.
it's like I tell them too. I said, there's no such thing as a dumb question.
Mm,
Whether they're first time home buyers or have already purchased,
yeah,
people forget stuff.
yeah,
And I answer my phone all the time
yeah,
because it's attached to my hip like everybody else.
yeah,
But I just say, just call me.
yeah,
And I'm gonna give you your answer or find your answer, whatever it is. But I don't want you to sit and think about something and is afraid to call me on it.
yeah, for sure.
I'd rather have the question, Jimmy, what color is the sky? Blue.
Yeah,
Something that basic. But
yeah,
no, I do because that relationship that I like to build with my clients
mm,
is one that's relaxed,
mm,
that we can talk on the phone, we can, or even laugh at stuff.
yeah,
That's the mood I want to set up with my clients.
yeah. So, okay, I got a question for you. Say I'm a realtor,
Okay.
right? I'm here in Colorado Springs. I'm transacting. I've been in the business for a couple years, right? And I've got clients that I'm getting regularly, and I'm having a tough time with my lender
Okay.
because things are falling through the cracks because they're busy too.
Right.
Everybody's coming back to the table, rates are dropping, so everybody's getting a little bit more busy, right?
Right.
So, why would I want to work with Jimmy over the lender that I'm already struggling with?
That's a good question. And that's really, I think if your lender is not fulfilling a need
Mm,
as a realtor
mhm.
that you need or your clients need,
Yeah,
you have to take care of your clients.
right,
And maybe that's moving lenders,
right.
right? Because the worst thing a mortgage person um, has to do is when, not have to, let me reframe that. I'm sorry. The worst thing that can happen for a mortgage broker is he's cost the real estate agent a contract.
Mm-hmm.
Absolute worst thing. Not
Yeah.
only the real estate agent, but the family that's buying the
Mm-hmm.
home.
Yeah.
So when I go talk to new realtors, I say, you know what? I'm not here to step on any toes.
Mm-hmm.
You have relationships, you form them, that's fine.
Mm-hmm.
Just keep my car nearby
Mm-hmm.
in case something comes up,
Right.
or even if you have a question,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Because maybe you're hearing something that you say, I don't know if that's right.
Right.
Because I can be a sounding board.
Mm-hmm.
I can give knowledge. I can do whatever they need to do.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to go in there and say, oh, I'm the best freaking guy ever, blah, blah,
Right.
blah. No, I got to earn everything.
Right.
I got to earn every step.
Right.
And the way you earn your first step is just talk to me.
So tell me this then. So I have a client
Okay.
and we sat down for coffee and I think you're a great guy. I think you know your stuff. I think you're going to take care of my client. What happens and what can I expect as an agent in handing my client over to you?
Okay. So then that's a great question because it's going to vary based on the client, right? But
Sure.
what you're going to get is contact from me all the time.
Mm, mm,
So I'm going to let you know, okay, the loan estimate went out. Everybody signed it. We're good to go. We got to get these docs,
mm-hmm.
and then I'm going to tell the clients that we're going to have a closing document
Mm-hmm.
next, just the whole process.
Yeah.
But if like appraisals,
Mm,
that's a big one because everybody's waiting for that appraisal,
yeah.
whether you're refining or you're purchasing.
Right.
And if you don't relate to your realtor, hey, we got the appraisal, came in as we needed, we're good to go.
Mm-hmm.
If they have to call me and say, Jimmy, have you heard about the appraisal? Oh, yeah. I came in last week.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to think, what the hell are you doing? Get off your bike.
Right. Right.
But it's those little things.
Yeah.
And even to check in and say, how are your people feeling?
Yeah.
Because it may not be an update on everything.
Right.
It may just see checking their pulse,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Well, and I think that communication piece is so vital too, especially like when people are trying to close quick, and I think there's a lot of that happening, especially with Colorado Springs being PCS town, right?
Right.
Like people are coming and going all the time
Yes.
and they need to get things done kind of it's like as soon as you get the word like, hey, you're moving, you're going, it's
Right.
like crap, I needed to get this stuff done now. Right? And so like if there's any holdup or bottleneck in anything, like I feel like that's a huge issue, and I feel like that's where a lot of realtors are experiencing a lot of flack from their lender right now is the communication piece.
Right.
I feel like if there was more of this little, hey, this is where we're at in the process, like, and from what I'm understanding from you is like it's almost like a timeline set up
Right.
and you're checking in with them every step of the way.
Right. Because you have to do that because a realtor is dealing with them even more closely every day.
Right.
Right. So if I can go in there and throw information
Yeah.
to the realtor, and then they come and the realtor can go, oh yeah, I talked to Jimmy already.
Mm-hmm.
This is what's going on. And usually what I do is if it's an email,
Mm-hmm.
I'll put everybody on it.
Yeah.
Let everybody know what's going on.
Yeah.
Some things, are more private than others, but I mean, if it's about the process and
Yeah.
we're waiting for something, then I'll let them know.
For sure. That's so good, man. I feel like that's a major plus. And then also like, as a realtor, if I send my client to you, knowing that they're going to get educated.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to get what they need to know about the loan process.
Right.
Like I feel is huge. And I feel like you do a good job at explaining whatever program it is,
Right.
right? The hoops that you have to jump through to have success in
Right.
that program, right? Like, and knowing that you're available. I feel like that's a huge thing is like a lot of times people feel as though they can't reach out
Oh, see, I
because,
tell my clients when we first get together,
yeah,
I said, I want you to make me one promise. You have any question, even if it's after dinner,
Mm-hmm.
and it's 8 o'clock at night,
Mm-hmm.
you call me.
Mm-hmm.
If you don't, I'm gonna be pissed, and you don't want to make Jimmy mad.
That's so good. No, I mean, and that's just it, is the availability and the approachability. Like
Yes,
I feel like that's a huge deal, and I feel like everybody wants to work with somebody that's busy until they're working with somebody that's busy and they realize they don't have the time to follow up and all of this other stuff.
right,
But from what I understand is you take care of your clients from point A to point B
right,
and everything in between.
right.
That's huge. As a
Yeah,
realtor, like I feel like I would trust you with, my clients for
and
sure.
I can understand where realtors are hesitant to try somebody new.
Mm-hmm.
I get it,
Mm-hmm.
right? Because relationships were formed,
Mm-hmm.
right? But I'm just there on the sideline for
Yeah.
right now.
Yeah.
That in case you need something,
Mm-hmm.
because like I said, we don't step on toes.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to blow smoke about, oh, we're this or we're that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's just who I am.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I think there's enough of that out there
Mm-hmm.
that, a lot of times a relationship starts by accident,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah.
So no, it's all good. I mean, it's a slow process, but that's fine
Yeah.
because we're talking lifelong relationships.
Yeah. Well, and two, like if people have like a question right now, they can totally just drop it into the comments.
Yes,
You're gonna
please
see
do.
it. Like even that, right? It doesn't even have to necessarily be a call right now, but just that initial like, hey, Jimmy, what do you think about this?
Yeah, and if they want to call me, they can.
Yeah.
It's because it's not like you call me and you're trapped in,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Yeah. Yeah. That's
I'm
good.
gonna I'm gonna just I'm gonna help you how I can.
Yeah.
And let's say that I don't get the deal.
Mm-hmm.
And as long as I helped you,
Mm-hmm.
then that's cool.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot of people I know a lot of people are thinking, oh, sure, Jimmy, yeah, you guys are really like that. Like you lose the deal, you're okay. I can already see the
Yeah.
messages. But no, that's really true because that showed that my care wasn't there from the beginning. If
Mm-hmm.
everything is based on helping you to always get that loan,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to get every loan.
Right.
Nobody's going to get every loan.
Mm-hmm.
But if you can just be a service to your community and help them
Mm-hmm.
without asking anything in return,
Yeah.
if we gel, then we're going to start a relationship,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And we might not gel.
Mm-hmm.
And that's good. That's all right too.
Yeah.
So that's the thing is that service, we have a saying in Indigo Mortgage, nobody cares more about your mortgage.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason we say that is because once a person turns into digits
Mm-hmm.
as a loan number,
Mm-hmm.
then we're not doing our job.
Yeah. That's good, dude. That's good. Well, dude, thanks so much for dropping the bombs.
Thanks, Uriah. And congratulations,
Hey,
buddy.
thanks, man. Have a
Okay.
good one.